Everybody's head should just be correct in this Nigeria. I beg. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy Adesua. Yes, this is the other side of me. The other side was serious. Now let us just chill and actually talk about these issues. Like, okay, what is going on in Nigeria? The very first one I have, I read, says building collapses in Ebute Meta, killing at least 8 persons. Now, if you're not new in Nigeria, you know that these occurrences are becoming too frequent. Yes, the rate at which houses collapse in the past 5 years, in fact, is a little too astronomical. Now, it begs the question, who is in charge of housing in Nigeria? Who is the Minister of Housing? Who are the people responsible for making sure that houses meet a certain standard before they are even erected or before they are built? Who are those in charge of this? Because this is becoming a little too alarming. Every now and then, this house collapses, that house collapses. I understand that Lagos is a very boisterous city. It's a city that everybody is trying to, build anything you can find with anything you have just to claim that you're a landlord in Lagos. But there should be things put in place. You cannot just build your house anywhere, anyhow. You have some buildings here that their foundation is even, before they are even built, you can already tell that whoever is building this house is setting himself up for disaster. And yet there is nobody checking them. Nobody is responsible. The only thing we have is people going from house to house, collecting tax for this, collecting that. And yet the main things that should be done, the main things that should be put in place are still left lagging, are still left unattended to. We need to check it. We need to check it. People are dying. It's not right. I mean, you go into a shop and you are even scared that I hope this shop will not fall on my head. That is, how bad can things go in Nigeria? We need help, please. Minister of Housing, please help. Help. I think I've said enough on that. The next one says, youth pastor calls for sack of RCCG head of politics. Okay, this particular story is quite interesting. Yeah, this new story is quite interesting because we are seeing a little bit of clash between pastors in the same church, concerning another pastor of the same church. Now, it is no news that Redeemed Pastor Osibajo is presently our vice president and is running for presidency. Okay, of course, they've not done the primaries, but he is aspiring to be the president of Nigeria. And of course, naturally, being a pastor in the Redeemed Christian Church of God, it is only natural that some people will be partisan and a little less objective when it comes to him, which is understandable. However, I think this other pastor, this youth pastor who is talking against it is actually correct because RCCG is a very large church with branches in every part of the world. So you cannot be partisan and say, okay, we are supporting one particular person. What about the PDP, members of the church? What about, members of other parties that are in that church? Because making it seem like, okay, everybody in RCCG would have to support Yemi Osibajo by virtue of him being a pastor in the church, I think that is really unhealthy for the church generally. It's really unhealthy. The next news story says Ogun State begs Governor Dapo Abiodun to pay up 68 billion naira pension gratuity owed by the state government. Now, this is pathetic, I must say, because having a state owe pensioners, pensioners are people who have worked for a state and have retired. In other words, they are retired and tired. They no longer have sources of income. I mean, imagine someone like that who probably doesn't have a child to take care of them. And I see people say, I can stay single, I can stay single, I can stay single. This is what happens When government decides to not pay you your pension, that's when you know that you need children to take care of you. Imagine 68 billion naira pension. That's sad. I, for one, I actually live in Ogun State, so I can say for a fact that the state is renowned for being for owing debts, for owing teachers and owing workers generally, which is pathetic, especially in a state like Ogun State that has a good amount of internal revenue coming in. I mean, Ogun State is rich. Aside the fact that it is approximate to Lagos, where the port is, Ogun State is blessed with so many establishments that the tax from these establishments alone, if well utilized, can make this state a mini America. But no, these same people in power, this same state is still going to borrow from the monies the workers in the state have generated, have been able to gather for themselves. They go to borrow it. That is ridiculous to say the least. But this is Nigeria. We see ridiculous things happen here many a time. We just hope and pray that things would get better soon enough. Amen. Now move on to the next one, which says, striking Asuu members should not be paid salaries, says Minister of State for Education. Hey. Now this one is even funnier because I don't understand how people will be on strike. I mean, everybody already knows that students are still at home. They've been at home since, I think, Valentine's Day, 14th of February was when the strike started. And since then, students have not been to school. So it is actually alarming to actually know that lecturers are still being paid for doing nothing. Like, you guys decided to go on a strike instead of coming to a consensus with the government. Students are on strike doing nothing, wasting away. You know, at the end of the day, instead of spending 4 years in school, you have students of Nigeria spending 6 to 7 years in universities. And after they come out of the universities, you hear employers, you know, saying they want them to have had like 5 years experience and blah, blah, blah. They should not be older than 25. They should not be older than 22, 23, 24. You know, all of these things happen. We see these things happen and they are just funny. I dare say that I concur with what the states, the Minister of State for Education has said. They shouldn't be paid salaries. You cannot be paid for doing nothing. So since strike is the way you want to go, you can stay without being paid. Yes, I know that sounds harsh, but that is the reality. It is not only unfair to the students, you know, who are the ones suffering the most, but I mean, what do teachers or what do lecturers, as this case is, what do lecturers stand to lose? In fact, they're actually gaining because they are sitting at home chilling, you know, and yet their salaries are still rolling in. So of course, they're like, government, till you meet our demands, we are not stepping an inch because there is really nothing, government has nothing on them. So probably if their salaries are limited or slashed for a period of time, you know, they can actually be reasonable enough to, you know, talk to the government. I'm not saying the government, see, I am not taking sides with government. I'm not. But of course, it takes two to tango. Both parties are not the ones suffering. When two giants fight or when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers. In this case, the students are the grass that are suffering. So the two elephants have to come to a consensus and say, okay, let us put our selfish reasons aside and look for the welfare of the grass, of the students. Let us put our differences aside first. We can always come back to that. But let us consider the students first of all and, you know, be able to come to a consensus, come to an agreement that will enable students go back to school as quickly as possible. Because having students stay home, these are young people, having them stay at home for a long period of time would actually increase the crime rates in our society. Because, you know, an idle mind, is the devil's workshop. So you can't leave students idle for a long period of time. They don't have anything doing. They're just at home doing nothing. Of course, they will start to have bad thoughts. And at the end of the day, the society will be worse off. So I really do agree with the Minister of State for Education that says that salaries should not be paid to these striking Asuu members, at least for a period of time, till they resume school, and let everybody's head be correct. Everybody's head should just be correct in this Nigeria. I beg. Now moving on, we have the next one. The next news story says, Putin's chief of staff, Gerasimov, has been wounded at war. Putin's chief of staff, Gerasimov, has been wounded at war. When two people fight, there is no winner. You might think, oh, this one is a champion. He defeated this one, he defeated this one. But in the real sense, there is indeed no winner. Because when there is a fight, both parties will be injured. An injury is not a win for both parties, right? So, of course, we see the war, the ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia, which is still, no party is bowing to the other, and the war is still very much heated up. And but we can see that despite the fact that Russia is almighty Russia, of course, they have all the nuclear weapons you can imagine, to just destroy Ukraine completely. But still, they are still having, wounded soldiers. They are still, feeling the heats from their opposition. That's the Ukrainian army, right? So we can see that sometimes peace is the best defense, especially in the 21st century. I think words of mouth and, people coming together and just settling things amicably is the way to go. I think violence is supposed to have gone with the previous centuries. But anyway, what do I know about war and peace? Okay, moving on to entertainment, Nigerian entertainment, or African entertainment, as this case is, where we see Juliet Ibrahim talking about being a victim of rape. Yeah, she said this on Twitter about how no, not on Twitter, I beg your pardon. She said it to on a show with Chudi, where she said she was a victim of rape, and because she was in a relationship, the guy in question, who was her ex-boyfriend, who was her boyfriend at the time, felt he was entitled to her body. So he felt, since we are dating, I am entitled to being intimate with you. And she was like, no, I don't want it. But he wouldn't budge. He raped her and locked her up in a house for days and kept on raping her. And then she went on to advise women, to not let such happen to them. That once this happens, make sure you call out to the authorities, to the police, and report the case, because it is indeed a crime. Even in marriage, rape is still a crime. But as valid as all of this she has said is, very, very valid points, yes, interesting. I empathize and sympathize with her that she had to go through that at some point in her life. However, Juliet Ibrahim, if you know her, you know she's a celebrity, a very pretty lady, which many guys would die for, but who cares? But I'm saying, if you went through that, like, why are you hiding? Except the story is not true, or the story has some things. Because I know for myself that if someone puts me through that, even as a kid, when I grow up, I'll go and look for you and make sure you pay for what you did. Now, she wasn't a kid when this happened. She was a full-grown woman. So despite, her life being in danger and all of that, and how she was rescued by her sister who came looking for her in the house, and then all of that happened. So you mean you did not do anything to the guy? You just allowed him to just walk away. It is either the entire story is fabricated or something is just wrong somewhere. Because someone who raped you, even in 10 years' time, you want to fish out the person and make sure that the person pays dearly for doing that to you. You don't just walk away and say, ladies, next time, call him out. Call him out. Let us know who the rapist is, so that fellow ladies will not fall victim to such a man. You call him out. When someone does something to you, I mean, the world has become a global village. Who is he? What is his name? What does he do? Where can we find him? That's all we need to know, Juliet. Tell us, we need to know. Don't just give us one kind of story and just tell us to just go home with it. And give us moral lessons at the end of the story. Tell us who was responsible for raping and kidnapping you and raping you for days till you were rescued. We want to know, Juliet. We want to know. Okay, so that is all on entertainment. And the very last story I have here is on sports. It says Manchester United beats Brentford by 3-0 at the Premier League. Yes. So, personally, I am a Man U fan. Yes, I have loved Manchester United since I was in JSS2. And I said I was going to be a fan from that day until now. That hasn't changed, even if I know little or nothing about sports. But every time I see the news, I mean, recently, I've been hearing so many heartbreaking news about Man U and how they were losing all their matches, and I was really sad for them, like, oh no. But I was still like, I am a loyal fan. No matter what happens, I'm a loyal fan, right? So when I heard of the win yesterday between Brentford, Man U and Brentford, you know, where Man U scored 3-0, and of course, C. Ronaldo represented. So yeah, C. Ronaldo was one of the reasons why I even made Man U my club, right? Man U was my club because of C. Ronaldo, and after he left, I just kept feeling loyal to the club, and I just never, you know. But now having him back, you know, just makes me feel like, yeah, my guy is back, he's back. And, you know, I can see that he's doing his best to redeem the image of the club, and I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of them. Congratulations, Man U, on your win. I wish you more wins. Okay, so that's all on today's news analysis. I hope you enjoyed it, and please, this is something I'll be doing very often, so make sure you hit the post notification bell to get notified whenever I post videos on this channel, okay? And if you are not part of my family yet, if you're not part of my YouTube family, what are you waiting for? This is the place to be. Hit the subscribe button, okay? And I promise you, it's never a dull moment on this channel. It's never a dull moment. We'll talk about issues as they drop. You will never be bored. Please do subscribe. Please do subscribe. Subscribing is not going to cost you money. Oh. It's like some of you think that subscribing to someone's channel will cost you money. It won't cost you anything, right? Just hit the subscribe button. Bim. It won't cost you anything, but it will definitely make somebody very happy. Yes. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, of course, give me a thumbs up. Yes, hit the thumbs up. Yeah, hit it up, hit it. Give me a thumbs up, okay? And also, if you have varying opinions, or you want to concur, you have something to say about all these gist that I've just poured here now, you may put it in the comment section, and I'll be checking it out and replying every one of it. If there are issues you want me to also analyze, maybe news stories you just discovered or you just heard about, and you want me to talk about it here, you can also say that in the comment section, and I'll be ready. You know me now, I like gist. I'll be ready to talk about it. Thank you very much. Till I come your way again in my next video. Bye.